Hello, hello. I believe we are live, but give me 1 second while I just double check here, just making sure everything is going. And hang tight because we are about to have a fabulous interview for our Fit for Success podcast. And it looks like we are in fact live. So welcome to today's Fit for Success podcast. I am super excited because today I'm interviewing Sara Davidson, who is a high energy entrepreneur, founder and CEO of Hello Fearless, the school for female entrepreneurs, a global community where women who are dreaming big and want to make those dreams a reality. As the founder and CEO of Hello Fearless, she is the go-to for all things related to launching, growing, and scaling business aimed to unlock human potential and change the world. She firmly believes that women can have it all in business and in life. And if you've seen this girl's marketing and this girl's website, then you will be blown away. She definitely knows a thing or two about marketing. She partners with the world's leading organizations to provide her clients with all the best in-class education, mentoring, tools, and support they need to fearlessly create businesses they love and achieve big, bold dreams. Previously, she handled marketing and business development for the tech startup Zarly, whose investors included Ashton Kutcher, Lightbank, and Kleiner Perkins, to name a few. Sara also speaks across the country on topics surrounding entrepreneurship and marketing. So, Sara, welcome so much to our show. We are excited to learn more about you and how you stay in amazing shape on such a tight schedule.
Thank you. I'm like, gosh, I need to rewrite that bio. It's a long-winded one, but I'm so excited to be here, Kristen. Thank you.
You're so welcome. So, Sara, tell our audience a little bit more about your background and the work that you're currently doing to help entrepreneur women grow and market their business.
Yeah. So, I came from the ad agency world and I've always loved marketing. I always loved launching and creating new brands and really helping get incredible products and services into the hands of their ideal target audience and conceptualizing new campaigns. And I ended up taking the leap into the Silicon Valley world to work with startups because there's no red tape. It's so fun. You're creating disruptive products and companies, energy and enthusiasm. What happened was I burnt out. I hit my first burnout about 5 years ago, where I was pulling several all-nighters a week. I was not eating healthy, and I was completely in adrenal fatigue and just my mind wasn't even working, and after I ended up leaving that company, I had to take an entire 3 months off just to recalibrate back to normal. At which time I was like, wow, I really need to take care of my body, take care of my mind, take care of my spirit. And which is great when you think that. And then I went on to start my first company, which was a marketing firm for early stage companies. And the same thing kind of happened. You get in a rut as an entrepreneur where you are really, really focused on serving your clients as well as just becoming profitable. And I hit my second burnout in 2 years, where at that time I was like, holy shit, I need to figure out not only who am I, but what do I want out of all areas of my life, and what am I truly passionate about, and I can't continue living like this. And at that time, I went to a conference in Mexico, and I met all of these super incredible, successful entrepreneurs that really had it all. They weren't sacrificing their own health and wellness and their relationships and other aspects of their life to be successful. They actually had incredible relationships. They were healthy. They were wealthy. They were energized. They traveled the world. They were passionate. And I realized at that point, there's a different way to do entrepreneurship, and that it's not just about building a successful company. It's about building an extraordinary life, and the importance of not balance, but integration in all categories of your life, and how when you have that integration and you focus on that, how much that can catapult not only your own happiness, but the success of your company. So I started Hello Fearless to teach women a different way of doing entrepreneurship that focuses on them as the individual, as the foundation of their business, so that they can really skyrocket in whatever it is that they want to create.
I love that, Sarah, all that you just said, and that retreat in Mexico must have really changed you. I know I was reading up on you a little bit, and one thing that you said in an interview with YFS Magazine, and I absolutely love this, is that the typical Silicon Valley kill yourself to start a company vibe isn't necessarily the answer for all female founders, and that sacrifice, while necessary, didn't have to come at such a high cost. So when you say high cost, I'm assuming that health is a big part of that. And
Mm-hmm.
this is not the typical mindset of most women who are starting a business. So tell us a little bit more about your thoughts on why having a successful business doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice your health to stay on top.
Yeah, so I don't believe in necessarily sacrificing. It doesn't mean that in building a business there aren't ebbs and flows. In fact, sometimes you're flying high on energy and you might not be sleeping as much, and that's okay. But over the whole, it's not sustainable.
Mm-mm.
And when you're at peak performance, whether that's in your body with the nutrition that you're consuming, as well as sleeping habits, and I'm sure we'll get into more habits as well.
Mm-hmm.
When you're spiritually, mentally, physically sound, you're raising your vibration, so you are
Mm-hmm.
thinking more clearly, you're more creative, the ideas can flow throughout, and you're making smarter, better decisions when
Mm-hmm.
challenges inevitably arise when running a business versus you're completely like wiped out and you're kind of shooting from the hip, and that's when things start to fall apart. And I really recognize my own energy levels and my ability to do less sprints and more of the marathon, right? And taking care
Mm-hmm.
of myself versus I would go crash, go crash, and that my energy affected my team and the demands initially I was having on them. And so when we baked in more health expectations and wellness and really intuitively listening to what your body needs as well as your energetic flow, our results and our creativity went through the roof.
I love that. And can you tell me a little bit more about how you feel your self-care efforts affect your performance in your business? Like you were mentioning how your creativity goes through the roof when you have more energy, you're thinking more clearly, you can keep your team on point. What I'd really love to know, and these are all excellent motivators, tell me, what are some specific tangible results that you have noticed for yourself and your team when you really do place self-care at the top of your priority list?
Yeah, so we did this with myself, my team, as well as we do this with all the women in our programs. And it first starts with, how you wake up each and every morning, right? And
Mhm.
so crafting what I like to call a power hour, or what is that morning routine? And it takes a little bit of experimentation, but when you wake up doing things like, lemon water or stretching, just simple things that don't take much time, visualization, that might include some exercise, a healthy, nutritious breakfast. Man, do I get going. I used to not get going until 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and then I'd be working into the evenings, and we were so much more productive. And so we actually condensed our ability to create and launch certain products or programs, I would say almost in
Mm,
half, just because we're not running on empty all the time. And
wow.
yeah, and it's so my employees were happier, right? Because we're not working 12-hour shifts, we're working 8-hour
Mhm.
shifts or less, or we took different breaks. And so
Mhm.
kicking it off, I would say productivity and just eliminating the timelines. I think it's harder to correlate specific results in terms of revenue.
Mhm.
However, your health and fitness is a number one category of your life that is tied to your money making abilities. And so
Mm.
most executive coaches, programs, there's a program called Lifebook that I went to in Chicago where they actually
Yeah.
have you get clarity on all 12 categories of your life, right? And they talk about
Yeah.
the correlation, and people that want to be at high performance, you absolutely need to focus on, feeling really great in your body and sound mind. And when I need clarity on something, and you go on a run or you go to yoga and you kind of release it up into the universe or whatever it is, you start to connect the dots a little bit more than if you're clouded or don't have that, energy running through your body, I've discovered.
Yeah, absolutely. That's Dan Sullivan's program, right? The Life Book.
No, Dan Sullivan has a lot of great programs. It's John Butcher.
Oh, right, right. Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah, yeah.
it's life changing.
Oh,
Absolutely.
oh, that program sounds absolutely amazing. Yeah, I've been wanting to check that out.
And I never
Um,
noticed up until that point that, like, when you're not focusing on some area of your life, how it was completely intertwined with everything else, so you start
mhm.
tweaking that, and you start to see yourself up leveling in the areas that you want, right? And it's not about working harder, it's smarter. People know that, but just energy wise and the
Yeah.
clarity that you receive is just phenomenal.
Right, right. No, I love that. And so basically, what you're saying is when you start to integrate these health practices, your money mindset and the clarity that you have around certain activities, getting certain questions answered faster, and of course, your productivity levels just go up astronomically. And maybe it's hard to, create a direct correlation if this, then
Hmm.
that, but you can see through the spiraling effect that it has within you, how much more effective you are as a leader as a result of taking care of yourself. Oh,
Yep, there we go. Sorry, I don't know whether there's some micro errors, but you were saying you can see the results. Yes,
hmm.
absolutely.
Yeah, you can
Hmm.
definitely see and feel the results. That's awesome. And so tell us this. I know that you are an avid yogi. What types of activities do you do regularly to feel better on an ongoing basis? And you were talking a little bit about a morning routine. So maybe walk us through your morning routine, the workouts that you love doing, and the nutrition plans that you kind of stick with to feel more energized.
Yeah, so morning routine is absolutely crucial. So some things that I learned is like getting the digestive tract, like moving, right, and feeling really light and good in your body at the beginning of the
Hmm.
day is phenomenal. I've had hundreds of women that, like I mentioned, lemon water sounds like the silliest, easiest thing, but it really changes. I, use a lot of supplements that I've
Hmm.
experimented with that enhance my energy levels as well. As I
Hmm.
mentioned, stretching. I'm less of a workout in the morning type person, and I'm very much go in flow. And
Hmm.
so I like to vary my workouts. So I know based on my menstrual cycle or,
Yeah.
the type of work that I have going on or just where I'm at in my life, I pay attention to what my body's craving. So
Yeah.
I buy class pass. So I can
Yeah.
go to a yoga class that might be more about breath work and, uh, serenity and, different intentions versus more of a body workout. I also like to get out in nature. I live right next to a lake downtown Austin, which is fantastic. And, I'll
Nice.
take my phone calls and just walk around the lake,
Yeah.
and just get out and about. But I like to do varied workouts. I'm a dancer, so anything that, has really great music, spin or whatnot. And I and that's not too hard on myself. It's actually, for me, the motivator wasn't just feeling good in my body, which is fantastic. It's about the mental clarity and it's about the energy for me that I get when
Hmm.
I need motivation to do more sales or I'm creatively concepting a new idea or something. Like that end result for me is enough to get my ass out of, my office. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
so.
I feel you. I feel the same way. And I love what you said there about, okay, so it doesn't necessarily have to be that you're doing one thing all the time. You're really listening to your body, you're paying attention to your schedule and the things that you have going on in the day. And I always tell people to really look into that because the thing is if you are, doing some kind of crazy hardcore workout in the morning without food, yeah, you might feel pretty good for that 30 minutes, but after that, your energy levels are going to crash because you
Mhm.
probably don't have enough energy in your body initially to get through that hardcore workout. So I really love what you're saying. It's like I'm looking at my calendar, I'm seeing what I have coming up, and I'm paying attention to what my body is craving. And I think that's half of the battle. Love ClassPass. I think it's a brilliant way to be able to participate in different styles of workouts to see what really floats your boat. And also coming from a dance background, totally love that. What type
Yeah,
what type of dance were you involved with?
all different types of dance. So jazz, lyrical, hip hop, ballet, the
Hmm.
basics, and
Hmm.
danced in college. And, I'd actually not forgotten about it, but, you're in the working world and you kind of, I used to run and experiment with different things, but, I never feel more inspired than when I'm dancing. So I do
Mhm.
try to bake that in as often as possible. And for me, having accountability partners like other women entrepreneurs or just entrepreneurs in general that,
Mhm.
we're working towards goals. So I'm feeling lazy or whatever, I want to go to a happy hour and they're like, no, we said that we were going to do this has also been very good for me.
Yeah, having others around you to lift you up. I mean, it's just like building a business, right? Some
Hmm.
days we all have our days where we don't want to get out of bed. So having people surrounding you that are also doing the work is very inspiring when you have those moments of, quote unquote weakness, I guess.
Yeah, and I really like to experiment too. So, I have a lot of friends that do bulletproof coffee in the morning, right?
Mhm.
And, if they want that little surge of energy, for me, like kombucha and probiotics and just feeling how that is in my body is good. And I had a guy I dated actually once told me, he's like, you need to look good to feel good to do good. And I had never really correlated that. And it's when you're taking care of the way that you feel and the way that you look, it helps you create more impactful programs. And
Mhm.
as I mentioned, just things start flowing out of you. But vibrationally, magic happens. You start to get in
Mhm.
flow. And I call it snapbacks, right? It might be a song, it might be a little workout, it might be whatever.
Mhm.
But like you shift your vibration back where magical things are happening and you start attracting different opportunities because of the way that you feel versus vibrating at a lower level. When I notice I'm consuming a lot of, really unhealthy foods, and trust me, I indulge quite a bit, but I try to balance it out with like green juices and certain things as well.
Yeah, well, it makes a lot of sense. Just like you're saying, I think we've all had days where we've eaten poorly and not gotten enough sleep and felt exhausted and highly unmotivated. I mean, nobody really wants to get up and do their best work when you've got brain fog, when you're feeling sick to your stomach, when you're feeling hungover. It's very hard to have those creative juices flow. So I
Hmm.
love what you were saying just now and also earlier that the more you take care of yourself, and really, the inspiration that you need, all the inspiration you need is the clarity and the creativity that you're going to have, and your ability to create more impactful programs by taking care of you first, because it all
Hmm.
starts with you. So I
I,
absolutely
I,
love that.
yeah, I've always said that it's you are the foundation of your business, but not just you, the best version of you, right?
Mhm.
And that connection to you have to have a deeper purpose, a deeper reason for why you accomplish things in any
Mhm.
area of your life, even if it's your business, and especially when it comes to your health, right? And that
Mm.
motivation might be I want to spend every waking moment with my kids as long as possible as they're getting raised, or I want the energy. So I had to attach it to something deeper, right? And
Right.
then also just paying attention to like being in your body. Like
Hmm.
entrepreneurs try to, they tend to be, especially me, I mean, like very much in your head a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
and so when you drop into your body, it shuts off the mind and you have way less anxiety. And
Hmm.
then the more connected I am to my body, the more intuitive I am
Hmm.
about my business, which benefits me in a lot of different ways, more than just, coming up with new ideas. It's like, okay, this feels right. This doesn't, I shouldn't hire this person. And,
Hmm.
aside with the sleeping and everything, I'm not making knee-jerk reaction decisions or
Right.
snapping at people, which can happen if you're running on empty.
Absolutely. So you're saying that you're able to listen to your inner wisdom much more succinctly when you're
Mm.
moving your body and moving the things that need to be activated in order for you to think on a deeper level and instead of just react to things that may not be the best decisions to you in the moment.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I love that. Tell me this, like, I know a lot of entrepreneurs will put their business ahead of their body all the time because they think that's what's best for their business development and growth. So, what advice do you have for entrepreneurs in our audience who still feel like, look, Sara, this is all great. I'm glad this is working for you, but I am way too busy. I cannot make the time. What would you say to them?
Well, I've been there a bazillion times, and I do sometimes fall off the horse. There's times, but it's really paying attention to how you feel, and it's time. I think that's all bullshit, right? We are the creators of time, actually,
Hmm.
and you're just choosing not to make the time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Hmm.
and what I've at least experienced, and you have to experiment this, but once you get used to noticing, like, okay, yeah, it seems like that, but I take that 30 minutes or an hour or whatever it is, maybe it's drive time to a yoga studio or whatnot, right? Like, I accomplish things so much faster. So you create more time and spaciousness just by the
Hmm.
sheer energy levels you have and the clarity that you have as well. And I think it
Yeah.
really is just like, just the noticing. And some people do reflections at the end of each night or the week on your energy levels or whatnot. I just feel different and I can tell it. And my
Hmm.
clients can tell it. My partners
Yeah.
can tell it.
Yeah.
And there's just really no denying it. And I actually went on I've been traveling a lot. I was in Tahoe for a month and I was skiing, but it was a blizzard and we were in a casino. And so I kind of got off schedule,
Hmm.
and it only took like a week, and I just did a few yoga classes, and I went out on the lake downtown and did like water biking, and I was like back, and I could just so noticeably
Hmm.
notice like how I felt. But
Hmm.
honestly, the opportunities that were getting thrown at me just because of that vibrational level.
Hmm. Hmm.
And again, now I'm traveling, and so it's more challenging, but I'll just choose to do little things like walk to the restaurant, or, even with
Right.
my client. Yeah. And just baking in little things that you can do even when
Yeah.
you're entertaining people, but it just helps.
Yeah, it really does. And I love what you said before as well, about thinking about essentially thinking about the why behind the why. If you're noticing all these amazing internal benefits as a result, you're noticing more opportunities coming your way when you're actually taking care of yourself.
Hmm.
That's really the why. It's not like, well, oh, because, for a lot of people, they don't totally love working out. They don't really have an activity that they 100% enjoy. So, it's interesting though, because I always tell people, well, there's probably certain activities that you do in your business that maybe you don't absolutely love, but you know that if you don't do them, you're never going to get the lead generation that you want. You're never going to get a program out, whatever it happens to be. So thinking about that why behind what you're doing is so powerful. So I love that. I love
Hmm.
everything you're saying. Um, Tell us this, Sara. I know that there's got to be a lot of fearless women listening to this podcast. Where can our audience learn more about you and the amazing work that you're doing with your clients?
Well, thank you. So our website is www.hellofearless.com, and that's where you'll find everything.
Excellent. I love it. Yeah, definitely check out Hello Fearless. She's got some incredible podcasts on there herself for women entrepreneurs, and lots about her background and her story. And she'll be super inspiring for you to go even just check it out. Anyway, thank you all so much for listening to our Fit for Success podcast for the day. And if you want to have high energy like Sara here, get on over to 31snacks.com. That's 31snacks.com, the number 31snacks, to get your hands on some energizing food combinations that you can use to feel your best in your business, especially when you've got those back-to-back meetings and can't pull yourself away. And be sure to be on our next podcast, where we'll interview another outstanding entrepreneur doing amazing things in their business and keeping their body healthy. All right, this is Kristen and Sara signing off. Thank you so much. We will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.